terrible normally at setting boundaries with other people, right? How other people treat us, how other people act around us, all these different areas, right? We have a reason. However, when it comes to boundaries with ourselves, we set them all day long. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of It Takes Grit, where today we're going to be talking about how to get out your own way. There's always something holding us back to getting to where we want to be. So I'm going to give you some tips that really help me get out of my own way and get me the life that I want. It is a little bit windy here in Southern California, which is kind of funny because it's all about getting out of your own way, right? And sometimes we just need a little bit of wind, right, to blow us out and to blow us in the right direction. So we've got this today. Okay, so I know that we've got a couple of new listeners and we've got a new year, so I just wanted to introduce myself. And if you haven't ever listened to one of the podcasts before and you're like, who is this girl? What is it all about? So my name is Louise. I'm originally from England and I moved to America 10 years ago. So when I was 22, I'm 32 right now, and I moved because I wanted to get my commercial pilot's license. I actually moved because I wanted to learn how to fly planes, and I thought that that was going to be able to take me around the world. It turns out that, you know, when you start your pilot's license, you don't really get to fly to the coolest places once you sign up for an airline. But I did my whole license. I really enjoyed it. I learned lots of skills, but I just felt like ultimately it wasn't what I wanted to do forever. But I did love Southern California, and that is where I did my training. So I managed to work really, really hard to get a visa together to come and over and work in the States. So it took a long time. I think I was waiting for about 10 months in England, but finally got it, and I've been able to renew my work visa ever since. And over these last, I would say probably 7 years or so, I've been introduced to the world of personal development. And I didn't grow up learning, about Les Brown and, Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins. But when I started to listen to these types of people, it really changed my mindset. And this is really what this podcast is all about, is changing your mindset so that you can live the life that you want to, so that you reach your full potential, so that you wake up every day feeling happy, feeling blessed, feeling excited. And that wasn't always the case with me. I was surrounded by toxic people that didn't want to have the life that I wanted. I didn't understand how I was going to be able to attain living in a beautiful house in Southern California. I didn't have those skills. I got very emotional. I would take things very personally. I would get sad. I would get depressed. I had anxiety. And so I have really been on a journey to discovering what it feels like just to wake up every day and rock this world. Like, how can you make every single day the best that you can? And really, I'm just here to share my knowledge of what I've learned. Some things you're going to take and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, that changed my life. Sometimes you might listen and be like, yeah, that doesn't fit well with me. You take what you want from these episodes. And that's why it's important to keep on showing up and listening, because you're going to hear something, one little sentence from either myself or one of my incredible guests that I have on, that's going to completely change your life and change your world, right? So I really encourage you to listen each week. We normally do the podcast between 20 minutes and sometimes an hour if we've got a guest on and we're just chatting away, but always bringing really valuable content on how I can get you from where you are right now to where it is that you want to be, and just living in a more positive and happy state, letting go of negativity, creating an environment where you can thrive. So if you're brand new, you're one of our listeners, then welcome. We're super excited to have you here. And of course, if you have been listening over the last couple of years, it's been an amazing journey. We started from one person listening, and now we have over 250,000 downloads, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for your support. And if you do have a quick 30 seconds today and you just want to give back, please leave a review wherever you listen to. Just give us a comment. I always like reposting them. And of course, you can tag us on the It Takes Grit Instagram. It's called It Takes Grit Podcast. And finally, a last little update for you. Oh my goodness, the Inner Transformation Program. Wow, if you want to get serious breakthrough, these podcasts are amazing. Okay, they're going to help you. They're going to give you little light bulb moments. But to make changes, to everlasting changes, we have to fully immerse ourselves. And that means committing to 4 weeks of working on ourselves. This program, we've done it twice now. And we're in, 2021. The beginning is this February, January, February time. And I cannot explain the amount of transformation that has happened from the people that are attending. I know when I created this program, I knew it was good, but I really didn't know it was going to be this good. So if you haven't already signed up, either put your name on the wait list or get the offer that's available right now, because offers change all the time. And we want to make sure that we get you locked in. So if you're really looking to dive deeper into your personal development, you want to make those long-lasting changes, yes, these podcasts are going to be amazing, but what's really going to take you to the next level is investing in yourself. I mean, I've probably spent over over $150,000 on mindset, on programs, on masterminds, on personal development. And so you can get started for less than $100 with our Inner Transformation program. All right. Okay, so let's dive in. We're talking today about how to get out of your own way. And I had a recent experience with a new app that's just come out where I was getting nervous and I was kind of shaking, and all I had to do was unmute myself and ask a question. But yet it was just like, it came over me, this like, oh my goodness, this like scarcity. However, as soon as I did it and I got that one thing out of the way, it became easier. So it's always the first time that's really challenging. So what I really found is that as I was creating this podcast and I was writing down a bunch of notes, this amazing thing popped to my head. It's like we are so good at setting boundaries for ourselves, but we're not very good at setting boundaries for other people around us. Have a think about that. Let that settle in. So we are terrible normally at setting boundaries with other people, right? How other people treat us, how other people act around us, all these different areas, right? We have a reason. However, when it comes to boundaries with ourselves, we set them all day long. We are constantly setting boundaries. And if you think about it, it's crazy. We want to set the boundaries with other people, but when we create the life that we want, there are no boundaries. There is no limitation on the dreams. There is not just an X amount of thing that you can do, right? We want to keep on going forward. So what I really want you to think of today is, what boundaries are you setting for yourself? What boundaries are you saying, well, I can't do this because of this, and this isn't going to happen because of this? You're creating boundaries for you rather than creating boundaries outside of that on other people. Just take a couple of moments and think, what have I been setting boundaries for myself? Write a whole list down. If you're driving right now, just remember this note. But if you're sitting down listening to the podcast, get a pen and paper out and just think about, what are all the boundaries that I have created for myself? I want to write this boundary, like, why am I not doing this? I've said, okay, I'm not going to start this side hustle because I've created a boundary around why I'm not doing it. So constantly think, when you're next about to do something and you get scared and you're getting in your own way, what is the boundary that you are setting that is stopping you get to where you want to be? It's like almost sometimes you create this wall around you, and you are creating it. We are creating it ourselves. Like nobody else is even creating that boundary, but we are doing it ourselves. So let's break down that wall. Let's break down the boundaries that we are creating that are stopping us get to where we want to be, and start creating boundaries for other people rather than limiting yourself by creating your own boundaries. All right. Okay. So another thing is that a lot of times people say, oh, I'm fearful, right? This is what gets in our way, is fear, right? Remember that fear is just a figment of your imagination. It's just something that you create in your head, right? You make things seem worse than they are. You create scenarios that are just, over the top, and people don't even know how you've managed to get there. But often we mix fear with excitement. Have you ever thought about that? Sometimes when maybe you've signed up for a new class or you signed up for a new program and you're excited, and then all of a sudden you feel a bit fearful as well. However, that's adrenaline. They can be mixed up in the same. So our brain, negative is normal, it goes to, well, this is just fear. Rather than thinking, how can this just be exciting? Never gone to this workout class before. There's nobody that I know, but how can that be exciting? I might meet a new friend there. I'm going to learn a new skill. Not like, oh my goodness, what is everyone going to think of me? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the moves. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up. It's like, wow, what if I can't keep up? Great. I'm excited if I can't keep up because I found something that's a challenge. So when we look at things differently, the things that we look at will change. So instead of being fearful about it, how can we turn that into excitement? So think about one thing right now in your head. Let's just do this exercise together. One thing in your head that you have some fear over. Okay, maybe it's speaking on a call, maybe it's speaking, on your Instagram story, or maybe it's showing up for something, and you're just a bit fearful. Now think about it as being excited. What are you going to get from speaking on that call? You're going to inspire people, you're going to build your own self-confidence, you're going to let people know great knowledge, people are going to respect you and look up to you. How can you change that fear that something can be so difficult and so hard and so fearful? And you can switch it to being, oh my goodness, I am so excited. I'm so excited about this. So I want you just to think about something right now. Okay, that's it. Think about something that you're fearful and change it to being excited. And then remember how you did that. Remember this feeling right here. And then the next time that something comes up that feels a little bit fearful, remember how can we look at it from a place of being excited, of having growth and enjoying it, right? Enjoying it. That fear and excitement can sometimes get very, very mixed up. And it really is, it's the same feeling inside. It's that adrenaline, it's that excitement, okay? All right, we think so much. We overthink things again and again and again rather than just doing it. Overthinking can create uncertainty. The only way that you really know if something works, and to be honest, there's no right or wrong way of doing anything, it's just figuring it out. It's just to try it. It's to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Because the more time that we think about something, we are eventually, how many times have you done this? You have talked yourself out of it. So there's a great book, right, called The 5-Second Rule. And it really does say, okay, you have an idea, you want to do something, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just go. Just do it. Because all of that time that you are thinking about, should I, you know deep down that you should. And if you can just get yourself to take action immediately without thinking about it, you're going to make a lot faster progress in a shorter amount of time, okay? So every single time that you are thinking, I don't know, if the more that you talk about it, the more that you think about it, or the more that you maybe talk it through with someone else, they're going to talk you out of it. So use that 5-second rule to just go boom, straight away. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to do it without thinking about it. And just take a step. Baby steps, miniature steps are better than no steps at all. If you are feeling stuck, it is simply because you have stopped. Yes, let me say that again. If you feel stuck, it's because you have stopped. So even if you take a baby step, you are not going to be stuck anymore. You're going to be unstuck. And it might feel like the smallest little step that you are taking, but it is a step in the right direction, and it's going to get you from being unstuck. I remember, years ago, thinking about how am I ever going to get to this place of where I want to be? Like, how am I ever going to get there? How am I ever going to get to that position? Or how am I ever going to get to have that house? Or how am I ever going to get to help that many people? And all I can say is that looking back over the last 7 years, it has just been taking steps. And I've taken loads of steps, and I've taken steps forwards and backwards and sideways, and sometimes back and back and back and back, but it's led me forward. So if you're not taking any steps right now, that's where we need to start, because you're not stuck. You've just stopped, and you're letting this stuckness and this no action get in the way of getting where you want to be. You're literally putting the stop marks. You're literally saying, universe, I'm stopped, I'm not doing anything. You're literally telling the universe, hey, I don't want this. You're telling the universe, you're reinforcing it because you're not even taking one little baby step. If you take one baby step, the universe is going to reward you for that, and it's going to give you something. And then you're going to take another step. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get a bit more from the universe. And what happens when you take action and you get stuff back from the universe? You get results. And what is the number one thing that happens to your body when you get results about something? more confidence, which equals more action. So if you want to get more motivated and you want to have more belief, you have to start doing the things that the universe is going to give you back to help you get to that next level. You can't just expect everything to fall in your lap, right? You've got to get out of your own way so that the universe can give you energy, that can give you things back. It's like a game of tennis, right? You've got to get out of your own way so that you can have this game of tennis with the universe. So you give, the universe is going to give you something back. You give a bit more, and it's going to give you back. And the more that you give, right, the more that you're going to get back, and then the more confidence you're going to have and the more action you're going to take. So it's really important that if you want to have success in life, getting out of your own way so that you can allow the universe to work with you is going to be huge, right? If you are standing in front of the way, the universe cannot get that energy to you. So it's literally solely on you, and the universe has your back. Everything is done for you. It's to help you, and it's to enable you to grow, to be the person that you want to be. So we're never just stuck. You're just stopped. And think about, what is it that you want? What is it that you really, really want? Because if you want something so bad, it doesn't matter what obstacles come in front of you. It is your job to, boom, knock them down so that you can get to that goal. And you can have the life that you want, and the universe is going to work with you on that. So never underestimate the power of the universe and how it's there to support you. But you have to actually get out of your own way first for the universe to go, oh, this person's ready. This person's ready for my support. This person's ready to receive. If you're not ready to receive because you're not doing anything, you can't expect magical things to happen. One thing that I was watching a TV show the other day. It's called Schitt's Creek, and it's just an easy thing I put on the background sometimes when I'm doing some work in the evening, just kind of decompress. And one of the guys, he was going for his driving test. And he was getting so worked up. The driving test, he was like, oh my goodness, I just panicked so much because what is the driving instructor going to think? What is people going to think? What are people in the driving school going to think? And his sister was saying to him, no one cares. No one cares because they've got their own stuff going on. And he was getting all worked up. He gets into his test. He gets in the car. And the person who he's doing the test with, he's on his phone. He clearly doesn't care. And he's like, why are you even here? Why are you even here? He's like, well, I've done 8 of these today. Yeah, I don't really care. What I want to be is a DJ. And so we create these ideas in our head that so many people care so much about what we're doing. It's not true. You're not that special. You're not that significant. You're not the center of somebody else's world. So all the time you're so worried about other people, whereas really they're not giving two shits, right? Because they've got their own stuff going on. And it would be so egotistical for us to go, oh my goodness, well, if I do this post, what are people going to say? They don't care. They've got their own stuff going on. And you're going to help the people that you're meant to help. And you're going to do the things that you're meant to do for the people that you're meant to serve. But so many times we're worried about what other people think when really they don't even care. They've got their own stuff going on. So you're getting in the way of yourself because sometimes what other people are, what you think they're thinking of you. Whereas really that's just made up. So it's another thing that you can do to get out of your own way is to release what other people are thinking, because 100%, 99.9% of the time, they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. I do not care what anybody else does. I care what I'm doing, how my day's going. If somebody wants to do that, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, right? And if you're getting bothered by what other people are doing, that's your own work that you've got to do, right? That's probably a judgment inside of you that you need to let go of. And if you let go of that, you're going to be less worried about what other people think. If you are so concerned with what other people think of you, it means that you're judgmental yourself. Because I don't judge other people. It doesn't matter what you do with your life. You do you. I'm excited as long as you're a good, kind person. That you do you, right? I don't have that judgment on other people. So I don't ever think that people are judging me. I only think they're really judging me in a positive way. I'm sure that people will have their own opinion on me, but it's not my purpose. It's not what I put my energy into, because I'm not out there judging other people. So if you're so worried about what other people are thinking about you, maybe it's because you actually have a judgment on other people. So that's something that is stopping you get to where you want to be, and you are getting in your own way just by being judgmental of other people. Embrace the growth. Embrace the growth that comes with stepping outside of your comfort zone and learning a new skill and just evolving. Like, be obsessed with evolving and becoming the very best version of you. Being obsessed with how can I be better? How can I grow? How can I add more value? Like, how can I just be the shining light in everybody else's world? Like, how can you do that? And when you do, you're constantly doing things that will get you out of your own way. And then lastly, what is the one thing that you can do today that will help you get the confidence that you need? Baby step. Now, what is that one thing? And what I want you to do is for the next 14 days is put in your calendar 20 minutes a day, the one thing that you need to do, because you're going to have a big obstacle. There's an obstacle right now, and I was on an amazing mastermind call this morning with Tony Robbins' son. And we're on this call, and he was saying, what is the obstacle, the biggest obstacle right now that is getting in the way of where you want to be? What is that one thing? And for the next 14 days, I want you to spend 20 minutes a day of breaking through that obstacle. What is the one thing? What is that one obstacle? First of all, what's the one obstacle that is the biggest thing that is stopping you get from where you are to where you want to be? Now, write down 3 solutions, and you're going to work on that for 20 minutes, just 20 minutes every single day for 14 days. And I promise you, it's going to change your world. Now, what I want you to do is after this podcast is you're going to set the timer, which is exactly what I did this morning. I'm giving you exactly what I did in this mastermind call this morning that I paid a lot of money to join. So you're going to set your timer for 3 lots of 5 minutes with like a minute break in between. And you're going to write down, right, after you've written down what your obstacle is, what's the biggest obstacle that is stopping you getting from where you want to be to where you want to go. And for 5 minutes, right, for the first 5 minutes, you're going to write down everything that you can do to help, that needs to get into that place. What are all the problems that you can solve, right? What are all the things that you can do? So, hey, my biggest obstacle in getting where I want to be is that, you know, I don't share my story enough on social media, my results journey. Okay, great. How can I share my results story? I want to do a post. I got to do before and after photos. I need to take my before and after photo. I need to record my story. I need to, you know, share what I eat. I need to share how my recipes, like what are all the things? And after you've done 5 minutes, you're going to have a break for a minute. You're going to do it again and come up with more ideas. Yes, you will come up with other ideas when you just put your hand to the paper and you just go, 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 go. And then you're going to do it for a 3rd time. Now, this is really going to help you. Now, you can do this or you cannot. Again, it's completely up to you. I did it this morning. I had a bunch of breakthroughs, a bunch of new things that I'm creating, and I'm excited about it, right? So I knew what my obstacle was, and then I created a plan of all the things that I'm going to do, and then you want to schedule it into your diary for every single day for 20 minutes for 14 days, okay? So a little task to do at the end of this to really help you actually have an action plan and a step to getting out of your own way. So I hope that helps. This is fresh news from me straight to you guys, so you really are getting the goods here. Make sure that you subscribe to wherever you're listening to the podcast at. It really helps me as a podcast host. Make sure that you're following on the Instagram, It Takes Grit Podcast. And if you have any questions, reach out on that Instagram. I'm here to help you and get yourself set up for the Inner Transformation Program, because that's where I give you even more tips and tricks and things that I've learned through these masterminds. So I hope that one thing helped you. Let's get out of your own way and help you create the life that you deserve. I love you guys. Mwah! I'll see you next time.